Yeah, I don't know.
What's the marble market like? Like, if there's still someone doing it,
Well, you figure today though, to be in the marble market, you can you can reach so many people. I mean, how many people do you? I mean, yeah, we got billions of people. I mean, there could be 100,000 people who love marbles, don't you think?
They used to have.
Do you know one
in the world?
Do you know one person that likes marbles other than your?
All right, okay. Let me think. Yeah, that's a point. Okay. Hello.
All good?
All good. Let me hear you.
What's going on?
Yeah, there we go. There we go. We're amplified. Nice.
Rocking and rolling, baby.
Nice. So, what are you guys excited about here? Justin, you go.
First thing I'm excited about is just ready to get the ball rolling through the community. Give Kearney's Point something that they've been waiting for the past few years. Just super excited in general, just to be a part of the cannabis community as a recreational side person too. Just excited as a whole. I can't really.
So So when were you first exposed to cannabis? How old?
I was 17.
How'd that go down?
I was sitting there after prom. I would always not pretty much telling my friends that they were smoking pot all the time because I was never really was allowed to try it. So I always not told on my friends, but yeah, basically. And then senior year or junior year after prom, I had a hangover, the super hangover, and I got introduced to it. Next thing you know, true story, I was at a baseball game right over at St. James High School, and my uncle at the time was the head coach over at the baseball game. And all my friends knew that I was stoned out of my mind. I sat there with a bag of Doritos and a big red Gatorade. I remember it like it was yesterday. Next thing you know, all my friends that knew told all the baseball players in the dugout, including my uncle. I got to stare at death. I'm sitting there in the bleachers. Everybody turns and looks at me, starts laughing at me, pointing at me, and I didn't.
So what happened? Like when your parents found out you're doing cannabis, anything go down or?
Yeah, I got yelled at. They figured out I was smoking after they found a few burn holes in my seats, and they were like, seed holes, kind of a dead giveaway.
Now, how did that progress to, how old are you now?
42.
42. So, okay, so you take 17 to now. What has changed throughout the years as far as maybe how you're using it, what you're using it for?
Well, back in the day, I was just young and dumb, just using it all day, you know what I mean, every day. And back then it was the cheap shit. It was all seeded brick weed. I mean, it wasn't what we have now. But I mean, I've started off from the brick weed. We went to a type of brand that we used to have on the street. It was called Arizona. Then I went from Arizona to like the chocolate. We had our Christmas tree bud during the Christmas seasons.
So I'm totally oblivious to this. Yeah. Where do you go buy it? Like, is it just word of mouth and then someone gets it for you, or do you go to the actual person and buy it?
Word of mouth and actual person and stuff would have it certain times of the year. So
you had to think too. People were trying to move their product. So like if you were friends with a guy that happened to smoke weed, you're going to hear about that guy that sells weed down the street, right?
Right.
And a lot of that started like at school, but then like if you work in like a restaurant. There's at least one person that sells weed in every restaurant.
Absolutely.
And that person's going to find you and find out if you smoke weed.
So when you're buying weed from a person, is it just flour and then you have to roll it? Or are they already rolled up for you?
I mean, usually you're looking for flour. Now, when I was younger and I didn't really know what I was doing, like if I was buying weed, it was really hard to do. I didn't have a car. Like, if I got anything, I was happy. But, I used to have people get me like a bag of shake. And I was like, oh my God, this is $20 worth of shake. This is going to last me like at least 2 weeks. Oh my God, this is amazing. But, obviously if that happened now, I'd be really upset about it. If I went to the dispensary and I got shake in my bag, I'd be upset.
Because on the cultivation end, we had a gentleman that came from North Jersey. He had a huge brand, Black Market. And, before he left, he said, here, and he gave Steve, myself, and my consultant, weed and everything. It looked like it came right out of The dispensary. It was professional package. It was actually better packaging than some of the things I've seen in dispensaries. I mean, it was like no joke.
Since a lot of like the legalization, not just in Jersey, but like in the surrounding states, there's been a lot better product out on the street. And you never really knew if it was actually grown in California, but a lot of the products would be labeled like grown in California, grown in Colorado. And then you're wondering, well, how did they get it all the way over here? But sometimes you think they just slap that on the package to make you think it's trustworthy.
Right.
But other times maybe it really was from out there and you're getting the best possible thing on the street in New Jersey.
So what was your first experience?
Swedesboro Day when I was like 15.
15?
Yeah.
No way.
There was these kids that I knew in the baseball team and they were bad influences. and then I remember we like smoked outside. And then hours later, I was going home and I was terrified that my parents were going to smell it on me, which was not the case, but I was very, very afraid of that. And then I got more careless as I started to do it. My parents found out and they were very, very against it. And, over 8-9 years, they've lightened up to the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my mom always used to call it dope. What are you smoking, dope?
My mom...
It's weed, Mom. It's not dope.
She would say... skunk weed or reefer, like she's in the 70s.
Well, now to this day, my mom, since they've legalized everything, I've spoken with my mom quite a few times already now. So I'm a bigger advocate than she was when I was younger.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Even though
it's definitely changing. I think it's changing pretty quick now.
Changed.
It seems like the more I talk to people, the more they're so accepting of it, and they love like the stories that they hear and stuff. Yesterday we were recording something yesterday, and I had to walk out. And when I walked out, an African American gentleman walked in, and I was like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Hey, are you the contractor?" I was like, "No, I'm the owner." He was built. He lives in Pedrotown. I forget his name, but in the teaching profession, coaching profession. I think he's going to be head coach at Salem High School for, I think that's what he said. I think he's in Winslow right now. But he's like, look, man, I've been following you. I live down the street. And I just want to thank you for what you're doing, because the perception and stereotype is that in our community, it's like gangbangers. It's like that kind. But there's very high level people that we use this, and you wouldn't even know that we use this. And right. I like how you're getting that word out. Yeah. And it's like what you said, dope. My partner and I, we were talking about this today. Like just the term dope, you sound like a dope if you use it. And there's a lot of people that use it that are they need it and they function. They get a lot done, and you wouldn't even know the difference. It's just crazy how just whatever happened in the 70s and how they portrayed it has stuck for so long, and you still have all those perceptions, which, hey, we're going to knock it down. And
well, as nice establishments like this start to open up, you change the perception,
Yeah.
So if we can get the right people in the door here, people in Woolwich, people in Carneys Point that have, maybe carried on that stereotype, whether they got that from their parents or school in the 70s or 80s, the DARE program, whatever it might be.
Yeah. And I think like a lot of people live in silos. Like you have your own little group that you're always around, and that group's always around.
Echo chamber.
Yeah, and now you're, if we can start getting the message out, and you're like, oh wow, look at look at that person, look at that person, look at that story. I can relate to that story. That was like me when I was growing up and everything. Yeah. So, what are you most excited about here? You're coming from the teaching profession. I mean, you made a big jump, going from getting started in your career. How many years were you in teaching before?
Like 3.
About 3, okay.
3 years or so.
And then,
I mean, for me, this is almost like a dream job, because coming from managing my parents' farm market, that's what I enjoyed a lot more, because you're dealing with customers face to face. You're seeing the same people in the community a lot of them that I've known my whole life, and I get to deal with them every week. You build those relationships. And also just dealing with something related to agriculture, right? That's something that I grew up with, and I'm really looking forward to like getting back into.
Yeah.
Teaching has its benefits, like being off in the summer, right? It's got good health benefits, but at the same time, like I'm not really sure that that's what I wanted to do my whole life. This seems like something that I could really invest myself into. And obviously, I'm so thankful you were willing to give me a chance, to get back into it.
Oh, yeah. No, I think you have ton of room to grow, and you bring a lot to the table as it is, you know. And I think same thing with you, Justin. I mean, I think both of you guys are just gonna. I just give you the right tools, and let you guys go. And hey, we'll fall down, we'll mess up, but you know, we'll be transparent. We'll fix it.
Part of it.
Yeah,
this
that's part of it.
This isn't going to be a career at the end of the day. It's going to be a passion. That's been bartending for 21 years, and I don't see that as a career anymore. It's a passion. It's what I love. It's like an everyday thing. It's like riding a bike. So
Yeah,
this is how we're going to ride this out.
I mean,
As Justin mentioned that this is a great thing for the community. And one thing I always thought about just this local area, there's not a lot of places where people can get together other than, you know, maybe a local bar, right?
Yeah.
But having the coffee shop, you know, somewhere people can come, sit, hang out with their friends in the morning, and then using it for other things, for like gatherings afterward. You know, it doesn't even have to be coffee in the morning, but this is somewhere where people can come together in the community and enjoy themselves. And there was never anything like that when I was younger.
No.
You'd have to drive a half hour to Deptford or drive to Philly, cross a bridge.
Yeah, whenever we went out, we were always out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you're going to find that just when we had our meeting the other day, we brought all the employees together, and, you know, just the sheer excitement, right? It seems like everyone is just so happy. Everybody who I meet in cannabis, they're happy, they're relaxed, they're chill.
Yep.
You know, there's no fighting. There's just, hey, let's just get this word out there. We love this plant. We love talking about it, and, you know, we love socializing.
Things are exciting and fun when it's a growing market. There's just so many people that you can reach that have not been exposed to it yet.
Yeah, brand new. I mean, I think they just hit 1.3 billion last month.
Wow.
And that's a lot in a short period of time since like 2021, and, you know, building the base. But, you know, this is probably going to be a $4 billion industry. I mean, we're right at the beginning of the crest. And I think it's going to be, you know, companies like ourselves that are going to, you know, really help.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier with the cultivation now and everything starting to hit.
Yeah.
It's really going to be taken off.
What would you say to the kind of curious person that's going to walk in here and are really on the fence if, you know, obviously, what is this all about? What's it look like in the building and everything? But, you know, what do you say to that person to get them from kind of curious to trying their first, whatever, edible?
I think the first thing I
pre-roll?
ask them is, what do you want to know, right? And what questions have you been holding on to for 30 years that you've been too afraid to ask, you know? Because, or maybe ask them what their misconceptions are. Like, what are your current understandings of cannabis? Because sometimes you have to break through those misconceptions. Those are conversations that I've had with my own parents and other, you know, adults in my life, particularly my parents, because, you know, it had that stigma, right?
Yeah.
You know, they grew up in the 70s, 80s where their parents were not okay with it. It was, you know, very taboo. So just having that conversation with them, I feel like prepared me for the ones I'm definitely going to have here. But luckily, if people are walking in the door, they're already curious and they want to learn. And that makes a lot of it easier for us, because then we just have to share our knowledge.
Yeah, you know, we talk, especially with the kind of curious person, taking your time, right? Yeah. I mean, not probably the edible route, most people, unless, you know, maybe they smoked in the past cigarettes or things like that, or want to vape. But I know for myself, I remember I took my first gummy, I took half of it, I think it was a 10 milligram, and after 20 minutes, you know, I didn't feel anything. And the dispenser I went to, they didn't even say anything. They said, here's the gummies, what flavor do you want? How do you want to feel? I said, I want to feel happy. Okay, you want a sativa? Take that right there. And but I took a whole gummy, and man, I was like loopy, crazy. But I can understand. How about the older person that maybe hasn't done it? And
well, that's too the thing with the CBD too. That kind of, we can also, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We definitely got to kick the knowledge to that, because there's going to be people that are going to do it. Some of their bodies react a different way. I mean, it could hit me, and I could just be working and going. It could hit another person. They could start getting anxiety and that kind of stuff too. So definitely got to kick the knowledge to them too about with the CBD, so that kind of balances the effects off of the people too. So.
Yeah, I find talking to maybe the older generation that when they were smoking their weed back in the day, THC might have only been like 8, 9,
Yeah.
you know, a much lower percentage. And now
Stuff's hitting mid-30s now.
yeah, the 30s, and
it's
you're
crazy.
trying, and you take the same puffs that you were back then. I could see like a lot of paranoia, and I don't like the way it feels, but.
Yeah. And then you have the ones that are infused and all, they're coming up 41, 42%,
Yeah.
43%. It's pretty strong for a single pre-roll.
Yeah, grandma doesn't want the 40%.
Yeah.
She's just, you know.
Yeah, more terpene driven, they're lower, and
Yeah.
get effects
Lower
like that.
percentage. Yep. I'm even like that too. I'm midway, 16, 19, somewhere in that range. I'm cool, man.
Take the edge off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 27, 28, you're just asking for your
So you
ass to
more
sit on the
a
couch.
sativa leaning when you're going?
Yeah, I'm very sativa.
Yeah.
leaning. Yeah, I like sativa hybrid to really just straight sativa, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm always on the go, so I don't like anything that's just going to like kind of slow me down.
Yeah.
But I work fine on it. So
Yeah, we had formulator in today, and she was sharp. She's been in the industry for like 20 some years, and come to find out, she went into Death of the Fox to get some coffee 2 months ago, and started to talk to Chuck just about, you know, his formulations and stuff like that. And you know, he was saying, look, you know, we're putting together, you know, with THC drinks and everything. And here she's formulated a bunch of THC drinks, and we sat in here for like 2 hours today, just strategizing and everything. And we had the other day, I think it was Angela. She's from emulsification process. So you're taking it from oil to water soluble, and come to find out that her and Angela, or Alicia, that came today, Angela and Alicia, we met them both separately. It was separate meetings this week, and come to find out they're good friends and everything. So looks like the next 3 weeks we'll be flying out to St. Louis, and we're going to come up with our final formulations, and we'll have that ready to go. So we'll probably be venturing in the hemp industry first, just because we have to wait for our cannabis to get legalized, but the license and everything. But I think that's going to be just crazy.
That'll be one hell of an add-on.
Yeah.
Because that's starting to kick off.
I went to Ocean City this weekend, and I stopped with the Super Liquors before you go over to 34th Street Bridge.
Yeah.
They had a whole aisle and 3 levels of just THC hemp products all down there, which probably at one time was the craft brewing, the craft beers and stuff like that. Yeah. But I mean, that's really in
the Sea Isle teas.
Months.
I know they did it. That Spike Sea Isle. I know they had the THC ones they came out with. So
so that's a whole conversation, difference between the cannabis drinks and hemp drinks and everything like that, educating people, synthetic, non-synthetic. But we've had a ton go on this week. Vendors are beating down their door to get in here. I'm really excited.
I can't wait to meet them all.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I can't wait to take you guys to some of these places and check this stuff out, and this machinery and what they're doing, how they're growing. But that's what excites me too, is, you know, now we're not growing tomatoes and peppers anymore, and it's not considered agriculture just because of how it's, you know, what is it? Level 1? I forget. What are they? Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3. But I mean, everything you're doing, it grows just like a tomato, and it's really cool. But one day it'll be agriculture.
We'll get there.
Maybe your dad will be coming in and checking out some plants.
Yeah, maybe.
Quality assurance.
He might take the corn and tomatoes.
Corn and tomatoes.
No, but I mean, you haven't come from the farming background, you know. It might not be considered agriculture, but it's in your blood, you know. Yeah,
well, a nursery's agriculture, right?
What's that?
A nursery? Isn't that considered agriculture? If you have a nursery growing plants?
Yeah.
For Walmart and Home Depot?
Yeah, I would consider that agriculture.
It's
agriculture. Saying this specifically. I guess you're saying they.
Well, right here, the dispensary is not, but at the grow, it should be. At some point, I would hope it is. You know?
Well, it's the most quickly growing cash crop. So how could that not be agriculture?
Yeah. Yeah, the one company today, they're pretty strict. He said they're 56 days. They like the live terpenes and everything, But I mean, 50. I mean, you're going 56 compared to like a 80 to 90s, day. You're talking another turn or two throughout the year. That's a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely. This is cool, man.
Well, what are you guys going to talk about soon? You guys are just going to be in here doing whatever you want to do, creating whatever you want to create, man.
For sure, man. I'm just trying to just.
I might need a little bit more than 10 minutes notice to come up with
Yeah, kind of got thrown on the spot, but it's all good, man.
We can close the door and you can, partake.
Say I watch a lot of podcasts, but you never see what goes on behind the scenes.
Oh my God. I had last week Dave Boucher, right? So Dave goes out and before he came in, he said I took a couple dabs and everything, and we were going to do like a podcast and let's just talk, see what happens. So we talked, and then the door opens up. We're like, what the fuck's going on? And here it's my wife. She's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, what are you doing? You told me you're going to the dispensary. I didn't know. I thought maybe something happened. So I drove down here to make sure you're okay. So get up and everything. I go over and I didn't hit the record button. We talked for like 90 some minutes. Oh. So he's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. I said, maybe let's just schedule another time. We'll do it. He said, well, I'm not doing anything now. You just want to do it again? And I'm like, sure. I said, Annie, can I do it again? She goes, yeah, go ahead. Now I know you're fine. I'll go home. So he went out and did another hit. He came in and he was so fucked up. And I think we talked for 180 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy. But it turned out really good.
That's cool, man. Yeah, Dave's a good dude. I can't wait to see what he's coming up with him and Frank. It's going to be awesome. Yeah,
I got to get you guys to these labs and see these people, man. They are just fucking insanely smart.
Yeah.
And they're just general people like us. They, smoked when they're 15 years old and, have known about the plant. And the one guy went to JT. He is a salesman for Glass Meadows. Okay. And he went to Penn State University theater. He said, when I was 5 years old, I knew I just wanted to be in theater and everything. And he got hurt on set and hurt his back real bad and couldn't do it any longer. But his friends smoke cannabis and he got into smoking cannabis. And he said, that's what I want to go into. It just got legalized out there. And he started in PA and he is fucking phenomenal. He's like, everything I've owned and everything I've done has been because of cannabis. My car, my home, my girlfriend I met in the industry, everything has come from that industry. Yeah. Which is super cool.
Yeah, it's amazing, man, what some of these guys come from. But
I was going to say, well, I met a lot of my friends originally through this hobby. It is like a really great way to make connections, not necessarily always in the professional space, but at the same time, like when you start a new job, you can kind of recognize who smokes and who doesn't. And eventually,
how's that? How is that?
Eventually it comes out in conversation, or it's or maybe you see them one day and they're wearing a shirt that gives you a hint, right? Or they have like a look in their eye where you're like, okay, maybe. But I mean, in the restaurant industry, it's easy to tell because people will come in high. Sometimes for those really busy shifts, you take the edge off, right?
Yeah.
But eventually it comes out like, you smoke? Right? Like eventually it's going to come out. I'm sure you know.
Absolutely. Right? A lot of my vendors that I've used and stuff like that from Black Market, they all have apparel, they have shirts, they have hoodies. I got one on underneath of me. I got Bud Hub from Ocean County, Dan Kessel. He was locked up. He went to prison for that. He did it. They hammered him pretty hard, and now he's about to open his own dispensary right now.
Good
he's
for him.
He's firing back at him, man. Dan's awesome. I'd love to have him down here. If we can get him down here to give his little testimony, maybe I can get him to swing.
Now, what's your inner circle and your buddies? What do they think now that you're a general manager of a dispensary?
They're psyched, man. They're psyched.
Mine are surprised, only because I was getting committed to teaching, and then all of a sudden I'm making this big switch. It's funny, so I have a good friend named Tim who lives down the road here, and his mom is a teacher, and she's someone that I would talk to all the time about like how it's going. Oh, I'm starting at this new place. What do you think? But so I was over there for poker the other day, and I was telling her about this new job, and she's very, very against smoking weed. She's not exposed to the business, and she was like, "You're leaving teaching to do that? That's crazy." That's crazy. And so now we get into this, but she's very curious, and we get into like an hour conversation about like all these different things. And now that her son is older, and I can tell her about like the trouble and the nonsense we used to get into, you know, but it's surprising for her, right? Because she never would have expected that for me. But you know, here we are, taking a new adventure. So.
Yes, Cindy, I was telling you earlier, she just is retiring from teaching, and she said, I've had so much anxiety. She said, my husband and I, we haven't taken any Advil for 7 years. You know, we come home, that's how we relax and everything. But she's like, I can't do teaching anymore. I have to let it go. But I'm so young, I just have all this anxiety because I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know how I'm going to fill my day and give me the same satisfaction. And her husband does all our HVAC and everything. And he's like, well, why don't you go and maybe work at a dispensary? And she's like, oh my God, that would be awesome. But I don't think they would hire me. And literally, I hired her. She just wanted to work part-time. And last week they had a funeral, and they were at DePaulo's eating, and they saw my truck, so they stopped in. She came in. She actually was crying, that just out of thankfulness that she gets to talk about this and how it helped her and help other new people. But
that's awesome.
Just, I mean, that I'm like, you don't have to cry. Are you okay?
Teaching makes us all want to cry sometimes.
Oh my God, I know.
This time of year, like this week, I'm telling you, this week, really the whole last month. Oh my God. I can't wait to start working here, but I really can't wait to be done there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Driving over a bridge to get there. Just for the 7:45 I walk in, and they're just, oh my God, on my case about everything.
Oh yeah.
6th grade. I'm telling you, like, it's where they start to develop personality, and they're mean.
I can't imagine. I mean, it's been 15 years since I've been in the teaching and doing that, but you know, it was getting to the point then where I'm like, man, I just can't deal with it. Like middle school, those little guys, I mean, they were mean. Like you said,
there's this new one.
I can't imagine today.
This new trend is going to blow your mind. It's called Italian brain rot. And it's basically AI generated images that they've created like 10 AI generated characters that have gone all over the internet, and they've given them like these generic Italian names. They're not Italian words. They just have like words that are made up with vowels on the end of them, so it sounds Italian. And these kids keep on repeating it over and over again. And they're like, they know I'm Italian. They're always like asking me like if I love spaghetti, or like if I drink olive oil straight out the bottle. Like they're really mean. And now that there's this Italian brain rot trend, they won't shut up about it. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with math. But I did tell them that I'm leaving next year. I didn't tell them where I'm going, right? That's none of their business. And then they'll try to look it up and find out. I don't need them doing that. But they were like, why are you leaving, mister? And I'm not going to be honest with them and tell them, like, because I can't stand this. Like, I'm not going to do that to them. But, man, like, I'd love to walk into work and just have, like, that peaceful feeling, like, I'm not about to get yelled at by 90, 10-year-olds, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just can't do anything. You know, you just got to take it, smile, take it.
Teacher Appreciation Week comes, and I get like a bag of candy and a note that tells me I'm appreciated. Yeah. But a bonus would have been nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think we have like what 7 ex-teachers that are going to be working here already.
Yeah.
And counting.
Yeah. We've got a crew. Like we've got some wild cards.
Can't be a coincidence.
Some energetic ones, some super passionate ones. So we'll see how everything works out, how everyone adapts, and kind of go from there. See if we need to hire
more. I was really
more.
intrigued by the knowledge.
Yeah,
we said before, just everybody standing up and just like their background. I was amazed by a lot of them.
I was saying to my dad that he was like, "How did your meeting go? What are the employees like?" And I was like, it's like Kris assembled the Avengers of smoking cannabis, because like everyone had a very unique personality and like a background that they wanted to talk about and were passionate about.
Yeah,
you know.
So even like Frank DeFalco, when you start to go to these secondary vendors, majority of all these people worked for MSO companies, multi-state operators, and they went in with all this passion, and how it sucks the life out of them, how you cut corners and you're doing things shitty and it doesn't really matter. They just want to do the dollar. They treat people like shit. And then once the secondary ones started to pop up and one would leave, they knew the people from that place that they would contact and come over. And then now you go into these secondary grows and manufacturing facilities. These people are like the 14 or 15 we had over there. They're like them, but on steroids. I mean, it is the knowledge and the passion and the way they do it is like, it's like, I can't wait to sell your shit. I mean, it's so fucking awesome. Oh my God.
I definitely can't wait to get behind the scenes and look at that stuff, man. Very intriguing to me. So very eager to see that.
And it's cool because you'll be able to see right away, especially you being in agriculture, who's doing things right and who's cutting corners, and where the average person might not, look at all the little things, the food safety stuff that we have to do on the farm. And, they don't have to do it because there is no governing body right now that's coming out doing inspections. Kind of like how farming used to be. Third-party audit was voluntary, and then got to the point where, your growers would, make you do them. And then until, Obama came out with the Modernization Act, and that's eventually going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely in this industry, especially when you're putting stuff in people's body.
But I mean, better to get ahead of that stuff and start doing it right from the ground up.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in a couple of companies, they're not even wearing booties, hair nets, or anything, and they're processing.
Trying to change that culture once you've already started it, it's impossible.
Yeah, I could imagine a black market guy. Right? They got their tents or however they're growing or whatever, and then they're coming into a multi-state operator, and you're bootied up, you're all this, and if you go to the bathroom, you gotta decontaminize. But even you have to watch the ones that are growing at home, and then they're coming into the grow. I mean, that could be so detrimental that. A lot of these big companies got 500 employees. What are they going to shower all 500 employees there before they go on their shift?
Right.
And you're just going to take their word that they didn't go and check their plants out before they came, and now they're bringing in your facility. You got 80,000 square foot of canopy. What a nightmare.
Yeah. I just saw that Gloucester Township. They're trying to pass. They're supposed to open a new police station, and then 80,000 square foot cultivation center. Supposed to be going on.
I think they're
how do you maintain something like that?
They're behind the curve. I mean, the big facilities, they were MSOs that were here before anybody. They made their money hand over fist. But now, I think if you're 60, 70,000 square foot, that's a lot of weed to get rid of, especially crazy. With all the small growers and.
Right.
That's a lot of. Every 60 days, you're having a harvest every week. You're harvesting stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and you think that's not going to expire?
Yeah.
There's no way you get rid of all that. No way.
Yeah, so.
What was your best place so far that you visited, do you think, that had best everything place? Together and kind of the best walkthrough overall so far?
Vertically integrated. I really like Glass Meadows. I like probably one of the most knowledgeable, well-run companies that I've seen, marketing, everything. Every person there is so passionate. If you're putting a sticker on a pre-roll, I talked to her, I said, that's got to be monotonous because I love what I do. I don't do this all the time, but I love it. And they all just loved it.
They're having fun.
Yeah. I don't know how many MSO companies we're going to have in here. We're going to need probably at least one or two. Vertically integrated ones, I'm saying. But, when you have brands that are nationwide brands, I don't see a problem with that. You got, as long as you got a good manufacturer producing it.
Right.
They're shipping in their proprietary terpenes and stuff like that and doing it right hardware and everything. But yeah, the one company we're going to be working with had a really awesome. So your disposables, right? So right now, a lot of the things they have are like on the higher end, but they want to bring stuff like kind of on the low, good, but on the lower end good.
Right.
And they're like, we could come up with a brand, but what we're going to do to get the price point down and have really good hardware for a disposable, we're just going to make a shit ton of them. And they are no markings on it whatsoever. And then we'll be able to have our own brand on the box and everything like that, just like it's ours. But because they made so many at one time, they can bring the price point down to compete in, the more budget, but get more of a premium feel in there, which a lot of companies don't do that because they just want to push their brand, and so it's a cool white labeling opportunity where we can get their stuff at an inexpensive price, but yet have our Frosted Nug or whatever we want to call out there and do it alongside with what we do too. Because we're probably not going to make vape cartridges or anything over there. I think we're just going to stick THC beverages, maybe a small little kitchen, resin, stuff like that. But
nice. We doing edibles? We doing gummies and stuff, right? Or
we'll do a little bit of it.
These?
Yeah, I mean that's a really tough place to compete with if you need to, but it doesn't cost us a lot to put in. We already have a manufacturing license, so it's just basically the equipment and the person running it. Yeah. So, I think if we can get Mike in there and give him some of the, skills he needs, he might not even need many skills, just the right equipment and be pointed in the direction right where to go. But if we have 7 to 10 Frosted Nugs in the state, I mean, that's pretty good.
I'll tell you what, his brownie bites were fucking incredible, man.
Were they all right?
I was going to tell you, I was like, he might not have should have gave him that. He shouldn't have gave him this brownie bites until we were after done talking. Because once we started talking on the second phase, them fuckers hit me. And I was
were they pretty strong? He takes a lot of milligrams, so I don't even know.
I think he said they were only like 15, but 15? I mean, I was just.
I think he was rounding down.
Yeah, I could feel it. I mean, I was feeling good, man. They were sharp.
The one company today, the vendor, they're coming out with wing sauce, hot sauce and stuff and everything. They got these chefs approached them and they had all these ideas and they made some stuff for them. They tried it out and they're going to be manufacturing everything at their facility. And it's like high-end chef doing all this stuff. So I think that's going to be a cool line. But there's really not a lot of brown. Is it just what is it, butter cake?
You got butter cake. You got Incredibles. They have like the chocolate bars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then everybody else is just basically like gummies. Butter cake has the strips, like the breast strip or whatever thing. I've had them before. They're okay, but
yeah, you guys haven't met Mark Gunther. He is the IT guy up in Red Bank. He looks like a 1970s pitcher. Mustache, crazy hair, hat all, but he is a whiz. I mean, he is like on a whole nother galaxy when you get to IT and everything. But his parents own Monmouth Chocolates. It's a 100-year-old chocolate company. Okay. They have their license and they're building out a 6,000 square foot facility. So we'll be able to have our own branded chocolate bars and stuff like that. I mean, and these guys have a huge business. So formulating it for them is no big deal. But yeah, I can see us having this just fresh brownies and stuff here. People just like Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, Krispy. They're the ones that had the sign, right? Warm donuts.
Warm, fresh. Yeah.
Put it out on a text. Just baked them yesterday, fresh today. Come get them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They'll move quick. People will be showing up for them real quick. Maybe 1 or 2 hours on the shelf. We'll have to make more.
Yeah, I can see. Someone's having a party or something like that. They get a tray of Mike's concoctions, right?
Bring a whole tray of those to a party.
I don't know if they're ready for that yet, man.
Even, who came this week and did a podcast?
Who's that?
Because they were interested in a podcast room. Quaker Bakers.
I never heard of them.
Do you know Deeb's? Remember Deeb's?
Yeah, Deeb's bread, yeah.
They bought Deeb's bread.
Okay.
And it's called Quaker Bakers. And they brought donuts and their bagels are off the hook. Oh, my God. They brought all this stuff. And their cannabis, they had great stories about cannabis and stuff. But I could see they would be good people maybe if they wanted to do stuff with Mike over there and create some, some Danishes and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe for consumption lounge over there, it'd be
Yeah.
some infused.
Like a filled donut.
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they're doing that company. They're doing hot sauce. They're doing olive oil. There was I think butter and something else. It's going to be their first launch into like food.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Once you can start putting out every meal, that's when it gets a little dangerous for me.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because olive oil, I could eat that with every meal. You know.
Did you ever go to that Stone Pizza in New York? Did you ever take the trip for that?
No.
What is
You
it?
hear of that? There's a place in New York. It's called Stone Pizza. So you order it, and you pull up on a block in New York, and a dude in a bike will come up to you with this large, massive ass fucking infused pizza, cookies, like edible cookies and shit. Yeah, pay a certain. I forget what the price is. I've never done it, but they have. I'm pretty sure there's one in like Collingswood now. I think we have one down in South Jersey. They do it. But there's like a number you call, and you park right on the block. Somebody comes up, delivers the pizza to you.
Do you
That's
follow that Gary Vaynerchuk?
Piece of shit.
Have you heard of him? Wine text.
I don't think so.
Oh, you never heard of Eric? Oh, okay. Yeah, he's from North Jersey, but he's like huge in like social media. And he took his dad had a liquor store, and he worked there when he was like in his 20s, and all his friends would come after college. College had all their fancy cars and all that, and he was working in his dad's. But what he did is he transformed the business, and then he put it online, and he had it's called like Wine Text, where like he had like a top 10. He configured the whole store. He watched how everybody walked in, changed the whole store around, and then had a top 10. And he said it didn't matter what you put at 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 always sold. You know?
Shit.
And then he has like Wine Text, and he'll go out and get like really good stuff for inexpensive, and he'll text it out. And he said, look, it's good right now. Text 3 and it delivers right to your house. And it's just a fucking enormous business. Like he took his dad's store from less than $1 million to over $50 million a year. Wow. Oh, you never heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? That's crazy.
No.
Especially you're younger. How old are you?
25.
25. Yeah, you're youngin'.
I mean, if he doesn't know him, I don't know if I'll know him, because he feels like the guy that knows everybody.
Justin knows everybody.
Yeah.
Pretty much every
The
time he brought
network-
up a name, it's
Wherever I go,
even if he
I'm
doesn't
good.
know the guy exactly, he knows the brother or the third cousin of the guy.
Justin texted me, and I know there's a lot more texts, but I know he's like, man, I don't want to like be rude or anything. But hey, have you talked to this company? Hey, have you talked to that company? Have you talked to that company? I'm like, how do you know all these people?
And I'm on my shit, man. I'm always looking, networking, staying in the loop.
And you try a lot of stuff, don't you?
Yeah,
You're out there trying.
Yeah, I want what's best. You know what I mean? I'm out there really guinea pigging and stuff for us. I see these different.
So you buy
companies
pre-rolls, you
that come
buy flour?
both.
Or both?
Yeah, more pre-rolls, flour, vapes here and there. I carry them around just for like. The
You don't
convenience
dab or
side of it.
anything?
I used to.
Used to dab.
Yeah, not to say that I don't. I still have my rigs and all.
Yeah.
I used to as well, but I feel like when I do that, that knocks me out for the day. Like
Yeah.
that's like a
Dude, we used to, the company I worked for out of Pennsville here, I did general construction for a while. Me and my buddies, we would all pull up to the garage at 6:30, 7 in the morning, and we're all ripping dabs. And then we're going, and then we're working, and then by 9 a.m., we call it a safety meeting. And the safety meeting consists of going up into the truck and smoking more dabs. Then it's lunchtime.
And then OSHA shows up.
And then we have dabs on the way to lunch, and then we have dabs on the way out of lunch,
my
and
God.
then we have dabs when we get home. So yeah, we were full functioning.
Me and my friends, when we were around like 17 or 18, we worked at a warehouse in town. And on our lunch break, we would all drive to Wawa and hit our black market dab pens in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then we would walk back into the warehouse, and you're just literally walking up and down aisles, picking little parts off shelves all day. It's the most monotonous work you could possibly think of. And like it made it slightly bearable for like a half hour.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, with the dabs and the concentrates and stuff, it's not super potent. I mean, as far as the smell, you can mask it a lot more than you can like the flower smell. The flower smell like, sticks to you.
The students,
dabs, it's more like
students in my school. That's how they get around it. That's how they end up being high in like the fifth period of the day, because they take it into the bathroom and they smoke it, and it leaves no trace, and it's no smell, and vape detectors don't pick it up.
Yeah.
And then they show up to class high, right? And you look in their eyes, and it's like, there's no way. But
Yeah, I used to carry the seahorse with me, the Lucas seahorse or the hookah seahorse.
Okay.
That's like a little portable, like a little dab rig. You can bring your little cup there with you. It's like a nectar collector type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's all charged, operated and shit. It's like about like that.
It's like a Puffco in a way, or one of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little nectar collector. That's what
I used to have one called Dabox.
The box.
Dabox. Dabox. And it had like one little compartment with your little dab cup. And then the part that you open where it's got like the coil that you put it on. That was really, really convenient.
Yeah.
But just messy.
Yeah.
People do prefer like I feel like just the regular dab carts because it's less mess and I feel like they can control how high they get. There's one brand that I really liked when I was using them a lot more was the Eddie Parker. They had like a good morning, a good afternoon, and good night. And when I first got them, I got all three. And you're supposed to use them at like that time of day. And they worked really, really well. I loved the flavors. I loved the way they made me feel. But I really enjoyed those.
So would you guys consider yourself a regular user?
Yeah.
So how much would a regular user like use in a week on average?
Well,
like,
okay,
how much would you spend a week, you think?
There's regular users and then there's like heavy users.
Heavy use, yeah.
So like, I mean,
what's the definition? Okay, what's your definition of a regular and a heavy?
Like a regular user, I think the baseline for that is like you do it every day, maybe at least every other day. A heavy user is like you're smoking in a bunch of different ways pretty much all day.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there have definitely been times in my life where like, especially if I'm got nothing to do, like during COVID break, right? When I got sent home from college with nothing to do, no job, sitting at home, right? Whatever. That's when you end up smoking all day, right? Yeah. But then when you have to be productive and live out real life, then you can't really do that, you know. You got to be on your shit.
Yeah.
But a heavy user, you know,
I calmed down a lot. I mean, I used to smoke like a freaking chimney, but now it's like.
Okay, what chimney? Tell me what a chimney was like.
It's all day.
Tell me the day, all day long? Or?
Yeah, like every day.
Rolling your joints in the morning and then portioning them out through the day, and then you get to like 5 o'clock and they're all gone.
Basically going through a 6-pack of cones. Yeah.
I used to be. I love rolling. I love to roll. It's my favorite part of the smoking process. Just like admiring my work right before I smoke it, and I love rolling blunts. And a lot of people don't like to smoke those because it's a little bit harsher, but I like tobacco. And I used to love like the White Owl Blue Raspberry or the White Owl the White Grape. And I would always get like this feeling of satisfaction when it was just pin straight and it would smoke perfectly. And the longer, I would get like a half hour out of one blunt. And I'm like, oh, this is the best. Because I love rolling it and I love being able to sit there almost like it's a cigar. Yeah. Just enjoy myself. Like sit outside with music during a sunset and just hit it like it's a cigar, you know? Because a lot of times, especially like I noticed pre-rolls, they smoke quick. You know, they smoke quick. I like a slow.
Yeah, we had Philly blunts growing up. First it was Phillies. There's the regular Philly blunts, then they came out with the strawberry, they had the grape, they had the chocolate.
All right, I have a real stupid question. I mean, what's a blunt? Is that
Philly blunt was the brand? Philly
it's a blunt. Okay,
yeah, it was a cigar.
And is it nicotine? This is
it was a normal cigar.
Normal cigar. Yeah. Okay.
You know what a cigarillo is?
No.
Black and mild. You know what a black and mild is?
No.
It looks like a thin, cheap cigar. It's $1 cigar.
Okay.
Right? And you open it up. You take all the tobacco out, and then you put weed in it and roll. So the shell is tobacco leaf.
Okay. Oh, okay. Right. I got you.
Yeah.
So cigarillos came out a little later, but we had all like the fatter ones. So we had the Garcia Vegas, we had the Dutch Masters,
we
had the White Owls, and then the wrap started coming out. Then you had the Juicy J's, and you had the Bluntville's, the Entourage. They started coming out like because people didn't have to break anything open. Now it was already wrapped up. All you had to do was unwrap it off the straw, and you had your leaf wrap. As opposed to cracking a blunt open, getting blunt guts or
they have
everywhere.
like I forget the brand, but they have like hemp blunts where it comes in like a plastic roll, but it's a lot less harsh on your lungs.
Then they have the King Palms, and so they have the King Palm brand too. So on the filter tip, they have a flavor. They have a terpene flavor in it, like pineapple, mango, margarita, and you pop the pod in there, the flavor pod in the filter. and when you inhale, it gives you that terpene flavor. That's in the thing.
Man, this whole world
It's all kinds of
never
shit.
even really known about.
It's not like it was valuable information for you to know, but now you got us to tell you.
It's great.
It's all stuff that they're going to be asking for. Trust me. Yep, that's all good shit.
I'm not sure that grandmas will be smoking blunts right away.
No.
But,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see how.
Oh my god, we should
How it goes.
have a joint rolling class though.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Dude, the classes and stuff that we can put in there is going to be amazing.
A joint rolling
I
class
can't
would
wait
be
to
really
start
fun.
getting-
yeah, but what do we
enrollment
use?
going.
Because we can't use cannabis. Would you just use some kind of?
You can just get it. You can just get it tobacco. You can just get like a
yeah.
rolling tobacco.
I'll give them
You can get a bag
some
of tobacco
oregano.
for like
Some
$3 or
oregano.
$5.
It's this
which
new
is kinda
strain,
easy.
oregano.
That's all you got to do. But yeah, those exhibits and stuff like that, and intellectual speaking and stuff like that on the knowledge and everything's going to be incredible. I still want to get a hold of those glass blowers too, if we can reach out to them.
Oh yeah, well
Community
Dave's
college.
definitely. He probably has them all lined up, ready to go.
'Cause that'll be really cool. And even to get them out here talking about what's going on too.
Yep.
About what they because a lot of these guys, they make marbles, they do other stuff other than just making bongs and bowls. I mean, a lot of those guys have an art and a different critique.
It's funny
other
when
than
you
that.
when you mentioned the other day like that warehouse down the street where the people have like the glass blowing stations. You
Yeah.
mentioned that one of them was like a marble specialist.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
he does
I-
like the
I didn't-
holograms, like the glow in the dark
Yeah.
skulls, and
But I'm like, what?
It's insane.
Like,
how
what do
they-
people
how they
use
insert that
marbles?
shit.
Like, who's playing? Like jacks, right? Is the game that marbles are for? Who's doing that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who like? What's the marble market like? Like, if there's still someone doing it,
Well, you figure today though, to be in the marble market, you can you can reach so many people. I mean, how many people do you? I mean, yeah, we got billions of people. I mean, there could be 100,000 people that love marbles, don't you think?
They used to have.
Do you know one
in the world?
Do you know one person that likes marbles other than your?
All right, okay. Let me think. Yeah, that's a point. Okay.
Dude, they used to have a big marble tournament. Probably one of the.
But there's
biggest
gotta be marble shows and
Wildwood.
stuff.
Remember Wildwood?
Yeah.
Down in Wildwood and off the boardwalk on the beach, they had those big ass marble boards, and they used to have big marble tournaments shooting marbles.
Yes.
There used to
Yes.
be thousands of freaking people there when I was a little kid.
I feel like
shooting
every
freaking
time I
marbles.
got marbles as a kid, they were like forced upon me rather than like
Yeah.
I wanted to get them.
Yeah,
like, it was
that,
given.
that and the jacks. Jacks is the bouncy ball.
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
this little
bouncy ball.
Metal ass spikes that
Yeah,
used to like
that's right.
cut into your skin and shit when you stepped on them. Things are dangerous, man.